So let's move on to some movie trailers that came out
Nice,
recently.
yeah. Those video game
Movie
movies
trailers.
they're coming.
Oh yeah. Now, historically, video game movies aren't good.
Yeah,
They-
to say the
they're-
least.
yeah, I mean, I am in possession of one. I don't know where it is, but I own Super Mario Bros. The movie.
That one was actually not too terrible. So. That's a
I
classic.
enjoy that
yeah.
movie. I really enjoy that
Oh,
movie.
those Goombas.
Oh God, nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah, like historically, video game movies have just not been great for whatever reason. Maybe filmmakers don't understand the source material. People want to do a different interpretation on the source material, as was the case with Super Mario Bros. Or just things just didn't end out right. But we saw the trailer for Assassin's Creed.
It looks awesome.
It looks dope.
It looks really, really good.
There's only two problems I had with it. One was Kanye.
Yeah, one of the strangest music choices, trailer music, trailer theme, whatever you want to call it, I have ever seen. That was, woo. There's been a lot of that lately, because Battlefield 1, terrible choice for song as well. So,
Also, Call of Duty, way
yeah,
worse.
that's
choice.
true. Kanye, again. So,
But yeah, if they had just gone with something more like the Assassin's Creed theme, maybe
there's been a few fan edits that have,
yeah,
taken like I think the one everyone always likes is Revelations trailer theme for that, and put it to the Assassin's Creed, and it works fantastic and looks great. But it's not hip, guys. Come on, you gotta get the hippity up and the hoppity, and
we gotta put Kanye in there because we're hip with the kids.
Yeah, we're gonna get the ethnic people in on this movie. Yeah, Kanye will do that. Yeah.
Because Michael Fassbender can't bring people in. We gotta have Kanye on the ones.
Speaking of like good-looking white people that Hitler would like, man, that Fassbender.
I mean, he's already Swagnito. Now look at him as
Swagnito.
Ezio.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, the second problem I had with that trailer was the animus.
It's not a problem to me, but it was a strange choice to say the least.
Yeah, it's
For people who don't know, in the Assassin's Creed games, the Animus is pretty much just like kind of like the Matrix, essentially. You just lay down and you get plugged in.
It's like a giant. It's like a small. It's a sleek, white bed that you lay in and you get plugged in, and then you live out your past, your ancestors' past. But in this movie, it's a giant claw-like thing that wraps around Michael Fassbender's chiseled body
And suspends him in the air so that he can move around.
Yeah.
I feel like that was totally one of those movie decisions, though, where it's like, we're going to have a bunch of scenes of Michael Fassbender that we hired and paid a lot of money for. Him to sit in a bed? No, we need to come up with something better. And I bet there was just some engineer guy who was sitting here like, he had some idea for a crazy-ass fucking claw thing in the back of his head for 20 years. Grizzled veteran of the industry, and he's just like, it's my time.
I think that they decided on the claw thing because it makes more sense that way. Because in the game, Desmond, the present day protagonist, he learns all of these special like parkour and all this athletic stuff from his past people. So he learns all that just by reliving the past. So he's in the body of his ancestor. So I feel like they did the claw thing so it's to illustrate Michael Fassbender in the present is learning all these abilities as he's in the mind of his ancestor.
That makes sense. It does, I guess, give a little bit more credence to the idea of him like physically learning these things, because it's not just, I saw this in my mind and so I know how to do it. It's like his body's actually going through it, so when he's back to the normal world, his body has like muscle memory and whatnot. So that makes sense. I didn't think of it that way.
That at least that's how it makes sense in my brain. Like, granted, I do take a lot of logical leaps like that. But yeah, to me visually, that's what it.
Sponsor us.
Please, Propel.
I fucking
Sponsor
dude,
us.
I live on this stuff, man. It's in my
He does.
veins.
He really does.
You've seen the piles of bottles in my before I clean my room.
Yeah.
Alright? I could fill a bathtub up and just be like, I should take some promo shots like that. That'd be great. Get that sponsorship, yeah. Okay,
Propel.
get that out of
We are not.
I'm
yet
sorry for that
sponsored
mental
by.
image, everyone. I'm sorry to do that.
I was imagining swimming shorts. It's fine.
Okay.
Like, because that I feel like you would feel uncomfortable to have someone take a picture of you.
Right.
Like,
Woo! That was a little bit of a
Assassin's Creed.
yeah. Okay. Hitler had the right idea. / I like to shoot people. / brought to you by Propel.
You see what happens, Shane and Sergio. You see what happens.
Woo! It's getting crazy.
Another thing that came out. We had clips of the Warcraft movie, which I have not seen, but Cody, you have.
Yeah. So
tell us about this.
they put out like 4 individual clips, and then they actually had 2. I guess there was some big like Warcraft movie event in Russia to commemorate it coming out, and they showed some more like behind the scenes footage and stuff like that as well. But those 4 clips in particular were just fantastic in my opinion, and Reddit seems to. I always go back to Reddit because that's my main social media. But the WoW subreddit,
Fair.
of course, was not pulling any punches, I guess is the best way to say it, as to the previous materials released for the game. The for the game, the movie, the trailers for it have been kind of odd and not. As I was saying to Jordan before the podcast, you kind of feel like that sense of like, hey, we're trying to make this trailer appeal to everyone, and in the process, make it appeal to no one. So, actually seeing legitimate footage of the game. Or game, I keep going to game. It's a game movie, bear with me, okay? To the movie, like, full length scenes was really good. The one that sold me and a lot of people was, you see Travis Fimmel, his character. God, his beautiful long hair. Again, back to those beautiful Northern European people. God damn. Ragnar knows what's up, okay? No, but him and some other like Stormwind Guard, like military people, and they all look pretty badass in their awesome armor. And like these, so you get the idea that these aren't like grunts. These are good, strong, badass dudes. And they get ambushed in the forest by the orcs, and they just get fucking slaughtered. I mean, it's does probably the best. Everything I was hoping for and more when it came to orcs versus humans, because in the World of Warcraft and stuff, for video game purposes, like they look like exactly the same, they're the same size, but lore wise, their orcs are supposed to be like these, like they're monsters. That's huge, just muscle bound, fucking insane murder machines, and you don't really get that in the video game too much, and you kind of got a glimpse of that before, but without seeing them in actual combat in the game, people were still damn it, combat in the movie. It was kind of hard to go, hey, are they going to do this correctly? Like, no, they did it very well. I mean, the battle actually starts with one of the orcs throwing a hammer that's like pretty much the size of a human at the dude, and he just gets nailed by it, and it has the most satisfying sound, and the dude just goes flying. I'm like, that's what an orc should be like, okay?
Yeah.
This isn't, Lord of the Rings where orcs are just a little bit beefier. Like, these are fucking hardcore murder machines powered by demon blood. We're officially here, folks. The hype train has officially left the station.
And the thing I'm looking forward to the most is that the orcs don't sound like orcs in the Lord of the Rings, because they're all like,
meat's back on the menu, boys.
And then you have people like walking up, it's thug douche.
Yeah, the voices were not very well done for the orcs.
Like,
Yeah,
what are you saying to me?
no. Yeah, these are definitely going to be some badass fight scenes in the movie, and there
Yeah.
was blood and guts, and it's. I mean, we're not talking like an R-rated movie here, but
Oh, my spleen.
yeah,
Oh
like
no.
it's pretty. It's really intense. You could tell at times that it kind of looked like they were kind of pushing the boundaries of what they could do. And the best part of it, like the orcs are completely CGI, and they do such a good job that they did an incredibly convincing um, job with that CGI. It's some of the best. It's probably the best I've ever seen. The older trailers and whatnot that we've seen, the CGI was looking kind of questionable. And
Yeah,
each
yeah,
trailer has gotten better, and these clips that look like they're legit, like this is what it's going to look like in the movie, everything's on. These look fantastic, especially the other clips too that we've seen. There was one scene where I'm going to get the names wrong. Uh,
doesn't matter.
yeah, the two main orcs that are
Orcs.
essentially going to be like the good guy orcs.
Yeah, yeah.
They're sitting on a ridge talking to each other, and it's just incredible how good they look. They looking.
Durotan,
Yeah, Durotan and I think it's
his wife.
I want to say it's Blackhand, but I'm not sure. But it looks like Blackhand. But anyways, yeah, it's not important. But
No.
they're sitting on
Yeah.
a bridge, and just the mocap did such a good job. The animations they've done in the face,
Yeah.
they just an absolutely incredible job. And they actually showed one of the earlier scenes that we've seen before, where I think it's Durotan and his wife and their baby, which I believe is Thrall, and they're talking about the baby and looking at the baby and, oh, look at the cute baby and stuff.
You mean Green Jesus?
Green Jesus, thank you. Yes, I mean he pretty much is, aka Chris Metzen in game. So he lives vicariously through Thrall. Everyone knows it. Oh, man.
Sorry, that caught me off guard.
So that scene, it was like looked good, but it wasn't like crazy. Whereas the Russian footage, they really like showed the up closes of the faces and the additional details they added, and it's just incredible. Usually CGI, the big thing that gives it away is the eyes.
Yeah.
It's really really hard to do convincing eyes, and maybe it's the fact that they aren't human, so your brain does give it a little bit of a benefit of the doubt. But
Yeah.
those eyes were just, I mean, that's a real fucking creature. Like, I'm sorry. I feel like you can notice a little bit though with the rank and file orcs that,
Yeah.
as expected, aren't going to do quite as much detail on those guys because they're not going to be front and center of every scene and whatnot. But so
Yeah.
they do kind of look a bit more generic and whatnot. But at the same time, though, as a video game player and fan of the series, it actually works because those rank and file orcs look very much like they did in Warcraft 1 and Warcraft 2. So it kind of, as a game player, my brain's like, oh, whoa, okay, I see what this is. Okay, it works.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was right up there in a skepticism of pretty much all the Warcraft fans up until these scenes came out, and I just went, why the fuck wasn't this the trailer? Because this looks amazing. Like,
Yeah.
you would have sold me a long time ago. Come on, guys. But
I mean, I would hope they have good CGI because it's freaking
oh yeah,
Blizzard.
I mean
They're
this
like,
movie is. I'm really curious to see what the bill is at the end of the day, because I'm sure this is probably going to be one of the most expensive movies ever made. Just
most
the
likely.
CGI alone is going to have to cost them a goddamn fortune.
Yeah.
And especially because there's just so much of it. I mean, literally every scene that they have the orc characters in, that's a ton of CGI right there. So,
Yeah.
boom! I'm excited. You go watch those clips.
I I'm gonna watch those right after we're done with this. But Cody, would you be surprised if I told you that Warcraft actually stole heavily from this other thing that's kind of similar to what Warcraft looks like today?
I'm not sure where you're going.
Well, let me tell you about this other RTS game. It's where Warcraft came from. You catching on yet?
No.
Because there's also war in
Oh,
that one.
Warhammer. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
that's where I was going.
Yeah.
Because
No,
of-
everyone knows. Like
because of-
literally, that they were hired to make. StarCraft was literally supposed to be a Warhammer 40k game, and then they lost the contract or something. And they're like, well, we'll just now yell to our Protoss and that you're yeah. Woo. I mean, it's like when you know that history, it's fucking blatant.
Yeah.
And Warcraft, like you said, is very much the same way. So,
and unfortunately, Shane isn't here to speak on this a little bit, but we did get a trailer for Dawn of War 3.
Mm-hmm. I will gush about that in his place because we are both super, super excited about that. Again, it was just a trailer of CGI, as is the case any day. But it was an incredibly good CGI trailer.
Yeah, it was.
I need that fucking song. It was so good. I need it. The trailer was fantastic, though. They did a little bit of changes though to things. Like I noticed the Space Marines were a lot less bulky than they are in some of the past games, which was interesting and things like that. But there was a lot of symbolism in the trailer, which I found interesting.
Yeah.
But of course, the highlight for everybody was when the Titans first showed up, because that was something they'd never done in a Dawn of War game. Which, for those who don't know, Titans are basically like mech warrior / armored core in the Warhammer universe, but in typical Warhammer fashion, like upscaled by 1,000. I mean, the largest Titans are literally like they have fucking castles built on them.
Jesus.
Like literally have gigantic basilica like castles and monasteries like built on the Titans because they walk around, because they got to do it big in that universe. So
seriously,
unfortunately, we're only getting the smallest ones, but it's still like, hey, this is awesome. That's something there's not usually been pretty small scale in the grand scheme of things in the Warhammer universe. Warhammer Dawn of War games, especially Dawn of War 2, which is one of the reasons that a lot of people weren't crazy huge fans of it, because it didn't go for that kind of smaller scale, which I'm glad that they've learned their lesson from the sounds of it, because it looks like from the screen they did put out a couple of screenshots, and it looks like they are going back to the Dawn of War style, big huge army, lots of dudes clashing. They are still going to have, I think they said each battle you'll have 3 essentially like elite characters that you choose, much like how you chose in Dawn of War 2. But it's not like Dawn of War 2 where that's all you got to fight with. You get a big, huge army behind your back as well. So, though the art style for it's a little strange. It's kind of almost like, I don't want to say mobile-ish looking, but it's just kind of like it's got this weird, almost like Banner Saga in like painted look sometimes. It's a very big departure from Dawn of War 1 and 2 looks wise, but it still looks cool. If anything, now that I think about it, it actually looks more like the figures from like the tabletop game. Like maybe that's the kind of art style they were going for.
Maybe.
That would make sense. Yeah.
I mean, that would be kind of cool actually. Like, yeah, I'm looking at the screenshots for it right now. I don't know. Maybe it's just my unfamiliarity with Dawn of War, but I do get a slight.
They look kind of like plasticky / like metallic, very like bright and colorful. Whereas like Dawn of War 1 is a lot more like gritty, realistic looking art style to it. So.
I feel like it's also kind of influenced by what Warcraft 3 looked like.
A little bit, yeah.
And StarCraft. Yeah,
a little bit. Maybe they're going for that crowd.
Well, because I mean, Warhammer begat Warcraft, and Warcraft maybe begetting
Dawn
of War
it's all
3.
a big circle, guys. Goes around.
It is. I am circling back to the beginning of the show, but I mean, Uncharted came from Tomb Raider. And Tomb Raider is now taking a lot of cues from Uncharted, and that's what the reboot of Tomb Raider and Rise of the Tomb Raider is. It's just Uncharted with Lara Croft, and it looks like Dawn of War 3 looks like, at least in terms of art style and art direction, it looks more towards what Warcraft 3 and StarCraft look now, but with the with like a more plasticky look
Yeah,
to it,
and that, and that's
like you were
that's
saying.
where it clicked for me that maybe they're going for kind of like a tabletop theme look because um, yeah, it does kind of look kind of plasticky and shiny and colorful. You know, like when people paint
Yeah.
their stuff and whatnot. I'll tell you, if I had a bajillion dollars, I would love to get into Warhammer Tabletop because it just looks so much fun. I went down to one of the local comic shops a couple weeks back to look for some D&D stuff, and there was some guys who they had like a full-on legit giant table to them, and they had all the ruins and everything set up, and they had they had titans involved. Like these guys
Wow.
had gone all in. Like this is the full
Yeah.
shebang, and I just was like, that looks fucking amazing. But I know how much that stuff costs, and it's way, 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 way too much.
Yeah.
I asked the guy, I was like, so what's it like not having any money? He was like, it sucks sometimes, but then I look at these guys and I play a game, and I'm just like, this was worth it.
Yeah.
Because they rake you over the coals for those figures and whatnot, and then they're not even paying it. So I mean, it's a pro to some people, con to others, because it's pro
Yeah.
because you get to customize it, which is totally cool to me. But on the
That
other
is
side, it's like I know my art skills. I would mess that up terribly. One of my friends, he actually just jumped in and he bought a one of the Tau, one of the alien races, and he bought a small little army for them, and he's experiencing the joy of painting, as Bob Ross would call it, going through, aka breaking two of his figures so far. He's like, oh, why can't I just buy these painted?
Yeah.
So, but
But I mean, I'm sure he's gonna feel like intense satisfaction when
oh
he's
yeah,
done.
oh yeah,
Like, it's exactly how I wanted them to
Yeah.
look, and yeah.
but getting there is the hard part. So.
Yeah.
But it's not cheap. I know. If Shane was here, God damn it, Shane. He actually had like several full-on armies and whatnot. He got hard in that stuff, so
Oh yeah.
he would have more to talk about as to this stuff. But he was
Well,
excited.
maybe next time he's here, we'll bring it up
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
and then Sergio and I will just like leave for an hour or so.
Yeah. It was just cool. It was a very good looking trailer. I'm excited to see where it's going. I was a little disappointed there's only 3 armies at launch, which is kind of weird. Though, actually, we're not sure if there's only 3 armies. They might be pulling what they did with I think it was Dawn of War 2, where they only talked about the Eldar, the Orcs, and the Space Marines, and then towards release, they're like, "Oh, surprise! Chaos is also in there." I mean, Creative Assembly is doing the same thing with Total Warhammer. It's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
we're not. There's no chaos in here. There's totally NPC race." And then, a couple months before release, surprise! Chaos is here, but you got to pre-order to get it. Fuck you. Fuck. I'll give them credit though, because that game's about to come out, and I'm super excited for it. And I'll give them credit because they did make that change to. Now you can buy it in the first week and still get it. So
That's good.
I can wait for reviews.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one thing that people were a little worried about. It's kind of low on the army count, and there's a lot of armies in Warhammer, and in Warhammer 40K, and I'd love to see them all. That was one of the things a lot of people were disappointed with Dawn of War 2 is we did get Tyranids, which we didn't get in Dawn of War 1, which was, I mean, that's cool. Everybody wants to see those. Wow, I just knocked over all my bottles. I'm sorry. Propel, sponsor us. Everything's falling. Propel. It's just
Yeah.
Propel.
It's literally raining from the sky.
Yeah. So, we did get Tyranids, which was cool, but we didn't get to see fan favorites, the Necrons and the Tau. So, hopefully we'll get to see those in Dawn of War 3 at some point. Because I am a big Tau fan. I'm not going to lie. For the greater good. I want to see those guys in HT again. So, but yeah, I'll stop gushing about that game. For how little we know about it so far, I'm excited though. So I'm just
That's
glad,
good, though.
happy to be getting some legit good Warhammer games again between Warhammer 40K or between Warhammer Total War and this, because after THQ fell apart. THQ pretty much had I don't think they had exclusive rights, but for all intents and purposes, they pretty much did to Warhammer stuff because they were making Dawn of War and whatnot. And Games Workshop, the people who own and make Warhammer stuff, what like
Yeah.
super like protective of their IP. But when THQ fell apart for whatever reason, it was just like they did a 180 and opened the floodgates, and every little tiny no-name studio could make Warhammer games. And when that happens, well, most of them tend to not be very good. And that was the
Yeah.
so. I'm glad to be in some good ones again, and I'm actually playing one right now this week that I'll get to. That's actually not too bad, so that's good. Where I think we finally got
All
through
right.
the gigantic tsunami of shit games that comes out
Yeah.
at first, and now you get the people who actually took some time getting their games
Yeah.
out and their quality, and it's good to see that stuff because God, I love the Warhammer franchises, both of them, fantastic. So 40K and fantasy.
Like, yeah. I still want to play Vermintide because that
Yeah,
was
that
some
wasn't
fun.
too terrible too. God, but nobody remembered, like even knew it came out.
Yeah. Right.
It was a